Star Wars Rebels Season 1, Episode 9, Path of the Jedi. The episode opens up with Kanan telling Ezra that he's going to put him through a test to see if he's ready to become a Jedi or not. Ezra has no discipline or focus. Kanan is trying to show him the way, but he is impatient and reckless. So Ezra and Kanan leave the crew of the Ghost and take a ride in the Phantom. Kanan tells Ezra that there used to be 10,000 Jedis defending the galaxy, and that they had temples spread across the galaxy, but the Empire destroyed most of them. He wants Ezra to clear his mind and try to hone in on one of these still standing temples. Ezra calms himself and says that there is a standing temple on Lothal, and that he can get him and Kanan to it. The two of them are able to enter the temple when they tune into the Force and focus. The temple rises and reveals a hallway. I like this, the idea of being able to access a certain area or even recognize something as being special only if you possess a specific quality. It's like having a key card or password, but internally. Honestly, what it kind of reminded me of was, what was that movie called? Red Planet? Red Mars? Red something. Where the astronauts approach the face on Mars, and as goofy as it sounds, the face on Mars detects their DNA, I think, and it opens up and they walk in and they see like the birth of Earth and all this stuff. That's what it kind of reminded me of. Anyway, Kanan sends Ezra into the hallway to begin his test. This was very reminiscent of when Yoda was training Luke in Episode 5. Luke was facing his fears, and so is Ezra. Ezra continues into the hallway and sees Kanan behind him. The Inquisitor pops up and has Kanan on his knees. My instant reaction was that this was all in Ezra's head, just like when Luke went to face his fears and was met by Darth Vader. We don't yet know if this is in his head, but the Inquisitor takes down Kanan, stabs him, and pushes him off a cliff. The Inquisitor tells Ezra that he is next, approaches him swinging, and forces Ezra to fall off a cliff. There's a lot of cliffs in this series. Ezra wakes up in the Ghost, so my guess is that most of this episode will be Ezra battling his demons, finding himself, and facing his fears, all while in training and inside the Jedi Temple. This is fun. It's a very cool idea, and I'm glad they're spanning it over an entire episode. Ezra, while in the Ghost, hears the crew talking about him negatively and saying that they don't think he's ready to become a Jedi. This seems to be a reflection of his lack of self-confidence, second-guessing himself, and not believing in himself. Sabine says he's just a little kid, scared, and that she pities him. I like this. It's almost like Ebenezer Scrooge being visited by the ghosts of Christmas past. The Inquisitor then appears on the ship and kills the entire crew. Ezra runs and falls through a door and is back in the Jedi Temple. The Inquisitor appears back in the temple. Ezra clears his mind, says he's not afraid, and when the Inquisitor strikes, his blade goes through Ezra, and Ezra seems to be out of the illusion. And then, oh shit, Yoda! Yoda's voice begins to talk to Ezra and says he is his guide. And we don't see Yoda, which I like. We find out that Yoda was Kanan's master. I was worried when I heard Yoda's voice. I thought it would feel like fan appeasement, but it wasn't like that at all, at least for me. The fact that we don't see Yoda was great. It was just his classic voice with some classic Yoda wisdom. Maybe Yoda is tuning into these Jedi temples across the galaxy from Dagobah, and whenever one is disturbed, which is probably extremely rare to never, he communicates with those who enter. I thought this was so badass. A great throwback to the way Yoda was in Empire. A teacher, a guide, someone with wisdom willing to pass it down to others. Ezra receives a Kyber crystal, which is the crystal used in a lightsaber, and at the end of the episode, he builds his own and reveals it to the crew. Kanan checks out Ezra's lightsaber and says a line that I really liked. Quote, "Well, it's different, but that seems about right for you." Close quote. Great line. If I'm being honest, it actually made me rethink my policy on lightsaber design. Of course I dislike gimmicky lightsabers and prefer the original design, but just that line made me go, oh, I kinda get it now. This was yet another great episode. I thoroughly enjoyed seeing Ezra go through his test and thought it was very well done. On to the next episode. Thanks for watching my Star Wars Rebels review series. Hello Greedo, out.
With you, cannot be